Kadosh Boker or Shavua Tov Masechet Bava Kamma Daf Aleph Amud Aleph says the Mishnah Shne Kadarim Shayu Me'alchin Ze Achar Ze. When you have two people that they sell kidirot, that's what they're called kadarim. It's like people that sell pots. So a pot, right, is a kidira. So if you sell pots, you are called kadarim. Right? I don't know if they have that in English at all, but it's something very similar. Basically, you sell a certain item, so you become called whatever it is, the name of that item, but just like in a different form. So Shnei Kadrin Shayu Me'alchin Ze Achar Ze. So they're going, there should have been one right after another. ונתקל הראשון ונפל, ונתקל השני בראשון, הראשון חייב בנזקי השני. So the first guy, he tripped and he fell. The second guy behind him now falls on the first guy. Yeah, exactly, shasheret. Right, this actually just happened to my brother, right, Shia buddy. On Thursday he was coming to the bar mitzvah. So on the way to the airport, right, he stopped because of the car in front of him on the highway, and the car behind him came and smashed into him, and then he automatically smashed into the car right in front. So he became like a sandwich, and then he was on the way to the airport coming to the bar mitzvah. So he had to actually just basically, like write it off and come to the, go to the airport. The exact same.
Yeah,
exactly.
But you said, the Gemara said here that Harishon Hayav.
No, so Harishon Chayav only if he was nitkal. He was not nitkal. That's the difference. Which means, right here, it's a little bit different because he was not nitkal. Who atzar? Atzar means that he stopped. Here, it's the guy slipped, fell, and now he becomes like a stumbling block for everybody that's going to be in
this
front.
This got to be clarified in the Gemara because this goes against what we learned.
So let's see, Richard. Yeah, there's always Gemara that's going to explain the Mishnah. Yeah, so let's see explain now, right? Yeah. Yeah. So fine. So Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Yeah, you guys listening? Yeah, Mordechai, Tishma. Amar Rabbi Yochanan says the Gemara. The Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan lo teima matnitin Rabbi Meir. Don't tell me that our Mishnah is like the Shita of Rabbi Meir. That he says that nitkal is considered a poshea, and therefore he's going to be chayav. Because even if it's going to be according to the rabbi, that they say that it's anus, and he's going to be patur, hacha chayav. Here he's going to be chayav. Why? Shayalo la'amod velo amad. He should have stood up. What? And he didn't stand up. Meaning, if you fall, right? This is actually musar for the day. You guys listening to musar?
Yes.
When a person can fall, even if the falling was called poshea, which means negligence, because let's say a person falls, but you have to stand up again. You have to get up. That's the musar for today. And if you don't get up, you're going to be chayav. Meaning, even if you were negligent, right? Sometimes it happens that a person goes through life and they fell. And really, by they were negligent to fall, meaning that they could have seen it probably coming, but they fell. Says the Gemara, they have to stand up. And if they don't get back up on their feet, they're going to be chayav. The same thing here. Here, what happens is that really, the guy, even if you're going to tell me that it's going according to the mandamar, that it's honest. Honest means it's force majeure. What do you want? You fell in the Rishud Rabim. Get up.
You don't even shout.
What?
Falls many.
Right? The said is Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'Kam, which means that Tzaddik always gets up. But by the way, you should know there's a mistake. You know why there's a mistake? What? People think that it's the Tzaddik that will get up. So if I'm not a Tzaddik, I'm not going to get up. It's the exact opposite. Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'Kam means, how do you become a Tzaddik?
By getting up when you fall.
By getting up when you fall. And you're going to do that.
Very nice. Goes good with me.
Right? Why? Because if not, you're going to say, listen, that's a Tzaddik. I'm not a Tzaddik. So therefore, I don't know. What do you want from me? Yeah. I wasn't able to get up. No. Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'Kam. Right? Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'Kam. You're going to become a tzaddik when you get up. Why? Because you keep on falling, but you keep on getting up. The mission is to get up. Yeah? Fine. Says the Gemara, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak comes and he says, Afilu teima, even if you're going to tell me, yeah, he comes and he says this, even if you're going to tell me, right? Lo haya lo la'amod.
Why isn't this guy looking where he's going?
He comes and he says, no, listen, it could happen. You're walking down the street and you fall. And we already learned
the
previous Gemara.
Why isn't the second guy looking where?
No, but if you remember, we already saw the Gemara also. The Gemara says that it's not, that even in the olden days, it was not common for them to pay attention on the streets. Meaning nowadays, because of the phones, right? So people are not looking at the streets, they're looking at the phone. So for sure they're going to fall, right? But even in the olden days, people were paying attention to the scenery.
In the laws of daily
Yeah.
conduct, it tells you exactly how your eyes should be focused when you walk.
100%.
Not too high, it can't be erect, it can't be too low.
Afilu tema, lo haya lo lamod. Yeah, says the Gemara, even if you're going to tell me, let's say that you cannot get up, haya lo lazir, velo yizir, give a warning. What does that mean? Sometimes it happens that people have a, how do you call this? They have, for example, like they have a problem with their car, but they have to get out of the car and they have to go, I don't remember how many meters, and they have to put that orange triangle, whatever it's called, right? To give a warning.
Hazard.
A hazard. They have to do that as a warning. What does that mean as a warning? It means that they have to come and they're going to have to, you understand? Why? Hayalo lazir. He should have given a warning. And that means even if you're going to tell me that he couldn't get up, doesn't matter. You have to give a warning. Why didn't he give a warning? Okay? Rabbi Yochanan says, Kevin de lo yalo la'amod, since he couldn't stand up, lo yalo lazir, right? The tarid. No, he says really, it's not true, because if he couldn't stand up, it means that he couldn't walk. Why? Because he was tarud benefilato, which means the guy just fell. He doesn't have the mindset to come and start warning people. He just fell. His mind is in the fall. You understand? So it's a little bit different. Okay. Tanan, we learned on the Mishnah. Haya bal kora rishon ubal chavit acharon. What happens if the first guy was the owner of a beam? Korah are the beams of the house. Ubal chavit, and the guy behind him has barrels, right? So he's got a bal chavit acharon. Nishbera chavit b'korah. Now, what happens is, you know how a beam is. A beam is very long. So it's very long. And let's say I have it. Yeah, exactly. He just turns around and he knocks 10 people behind him. No, you know the famous joke. No, Richard, you got the long beam here, and I'm like, what? Over there, whoops, like this, and all of a sudden you knock, and then you go, well, over there, whoops, you go the other way, and then you keep on, you knock everybody on all the sides.
Happened in Home Depot in Sukkot.
Exactly, in Home Depot and Sukkot. Exactly, you're dangerous. Yeah. So one second. So he says like this. So he says the first guy was the beam. The last guy was a bal chavit. Nishbera chavit b'korah. So now the chavit broke with the korah. Patur. The bal korah is going to be patur. Ve'im amad. Now if he stopped, bal korah is going to be chayav. The bal korah is going to be chayav. My lover, we're not talking about shamal lechatef, that you stopped just to rest. Te'orchu, that's normal. V'ktani chayav, and we said that he's going to be chayav. Why? To have a leilazir, because he should have warned them. Which means it's mashma that even if he's tarud, he had to give a warning. Meaning the fact that you didn't give a warning, right, is not an excuse because you were busy. Being busy does not give you the license, right, to do whatever you want. Many times that happens. I don't know if you ever realize you're going down the highway and all of a sudden everyone stops and they have to stop very sharply. What is the first thing that you're supposed to do? You put the hazard lights on. Why? Because then from far, they come and they see hazard lights, they come and they start braking. Because if not, right, everybody's going at whatever it is, 60, 70 miles, and all of a sudden they're coming straight in and they don't realize that the guy in front just stopped. They don't understand why. And they just go boom, and then it just continues going, you understand? So you have to give a warning. So not because of being tarud, because of being busy, is that a license not to give warnings, right? Or for example, the guy in front of you, his brake lights are not working. Yeah. It's going to be a problem. Why? How am I going to know that you're braking? Right? Or you're turning in, so you're slowing down, but I don't know that you're turning in. And you don't indicate to turn in. All those things are dangerous. Why? You should have warned. And if you're not warning, right, you should get, I once actually looked it up, and it's not that simple that you can get a ticket for not indicating.
You don't have to use it.
Right? But technically speaking, it's very dangerous. For indicating. Leotet. איפה שאתה הולך. Right? אבל זה מסוכן. אני לא נראה לי שמקבלים על זה טיקט, אבל באמת זה מסוכן. Why is it סכנה? Because I'm behind you, I don't understand why you're slowing down. And all of a sudden, sometimes it happens, you slow down right away, like very sharp, and then you make the turn. By the time
I was pulling into my house and I was slowing down to make it. Somebody came right around me, and I didn't use my turn signal to pull into my driveway. And he would have broadsided my daughter. And as I was pulling into my house, he went around me in such a rush and almost broadsided me. Hashem saved me. It was a miracle.
Okay, so you see it. You see there.
I was not. I was. You know how I make a little bit of money to get along the garbage on the street.
Yeah. So he comes and he says like this. So he says, "Lo, really be'emet, that a person was not right." Are you guys listening? A person was not lo. Right? Really be'emet. We're not talking about that you stopped lekatef. Lekatef means to fix that which you have on your shoulder. I said to rest. That's the answer now. I apologize. It's a little mixed it up. Right now is shama lekatef, which means now you went and you're using the time to rearrange the burden on your shoulder. That's kishama lekatef, right? Katef is your shoulder, right? But he says, lo kishama lefush. You stopped to rest. I mean, you did stop, but you stopped to rest. So since you stopped to rest, right, and therefore you did something weird. So therefore, that's why
stopping to rest is weird. But adjusting is normal.
Adjusting is normal. Listen, you're walking in the path. You have to adjust it. That's fine. That's normal. But stopping to rest is not normal. So therefore, that's what you're going to be chayav. Says the Gemara, but if you did stop in order to rearrange your burden, which is basically to rearrange it, my what's alacha patur? It should be patur. So let's see the seifa. The Tani seifa. In the seifa it says, ve'im amarlo lebala chavit amod. If he told the bala chavit get up, and he didn't get up. So because he didn't get up, somebody behind him crashed into him, right? So what happens? It's going to be patur. So liflog velitni bedida. Why don't you learn it within it? One of these words, kishama lafush. Why don't you make that difference into the seifa? Say there's a difference between amad lafush and amad lakatef. Amad lafush is going to be chayav. Amad lakatef is going to be patur. Meaning you rested, you're going to be chayav. If you didn't rest and you're rearranging, you're going to be patur. Yeah? So the Gemara answers, what does it come to teach you? That even though you got up, that you stopped, right, to rest, once he told him amod, he's going to be patur, which means the fact that that means even though you did something mishuneh, the fact that you went and you told him and you gave him a warning, you told him stop, and he didn't stop, you're patur. And you did something weird, doesn't matter. I told you to stop, you didn't stop. That's your problem. Okay? So Tashima, let's try to bring another proof now. Hakadarim Zagagin, sorry. Right? So Kadar again was the sellers of the baskets, of the kidirot, of the pots. Zavagin are people that sell zechuchit. Zechuchit is glass. Shayu malchin zeachar zeh.
Installing.
Yeah, installing the glass. Right? Zagad. Yeah, that's in Hebrew, Zagad. Yeah, so he says Shayu malchin zeachar zeh. They're walking one behind each other. Then נתקל ראשון, נתקל ראשון ונפל, ונתקל השני בראשון, והשלישי בשני. So here you have a three-car accident, right? You have the first one was נתקל and he fell down. The second one hit the first guy, and the third one hit the second guy. ראשון חייב בנזקי שני, ושני חייב בנזקי שלישי. The first one is חייב in the sheni, and the sheni is חייב in the shlishi. If it's because of the first guy, the Rishon is chayav b'niskei kulam. The first guy is going to be chayav in all the nizakim. But if each one gave a warning, peturim, they're going to be patur. So says the Gemara, my lover, we're not talking about now, shelo haya lahen la'amod, that they couldn't stop. So answers the Gemara, lo, shaya lahen la'amod. Right? They were able to get up, basically. They were able to come and stop, which means they could have actually get up, and therefore there wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah? So if they were able to get up, so then why would they be patur exactly? So the Gemara says, no, shayala and lamod, because at the end of the day, since they could have stood up, they're chayavim on each one, not because they didn't actually warn each other, but because they didn't get up. So here you see that even though you gave a warning, it doesn't help because you should have gotten up. Meaning the warning does not exempt you from not getting up. Aval, however, though, lo yalayim lamod, what happens if they didn't have enough time to stand up? What's salacha? You should be patur? If so, let's see the seifa. The seifa says, what happens if they warned each other? So why do we make a differentiation? But when one of these words, if they were able to stand up. But if they weren't able to stand up, they're going to be pturim. Meaning, we should have said mefurash in the seifa that it all depends whether they had enough time to stand up or not. If you're going to tell me now that the warning does not license you, right, to become exempt because you should have still gotten up, so just make that difference. Tell me if you're able to get up or not able to get up, and that's it. So Shalom was coming teach you the even though you didn't have time to stand up, it's enough for warning. Meaning we're retracting, we're saying like what we said before. That means the warning is good enough, even though I could have gotten up. If I warned you, I tell you, hey Richard, be careful. That's already enough. That's already enough. I gave you a warning. Right? Even though I could have gotten up. Okay? So says the Gemara, Bava Kamma Daf says, do you know that the first person is chayav in the nezek of the second person, whether we're talking about the nezek in his body or of his money? But sheni is going to be chayav in shlishi, the third person, right? Only in the body harm, damage, but not in the damage of the money. Why?
The utensils are in the category of bore.
Yeah, so he says like this. He says, Manoshach. If you're going to tell me that the guy is considered a poshea, which means that he tripped or whatever it is, he's a poshea, he's negligent. Yes. Yeah, so he comes and he says, and that's why the Rishon is going to be chayav and everything. So the Sheni nami lechayav, so obligate the second guy as well. And if you're going to tell me now that the nitkal is not a poshea, so then if you Rishon nami lipater, so then you should say that he should be patur as well. So therefore, because of that, right, you should be exempting everybody. Right? So the Gemara is going to explain the words of Rabbi, 31b. And the Gemara says like this. Rishon, vadai poshea. The first person, for sure, is considered a poshea. Right? And therefore, which one? Nowadays, it all depends, because you have to remember, many times it all depends on the circumstances. Here, obviously, we're talking about different circumstances. I think there's different rules. There's warnings. Right, your brake lights is a warning. It could be that you put the indicator as warnings or other things are warnings. I'm saying that there could be many different halachot that we have to actually get into that we're not sure. Okay, that he's shown, right? What? It says that he's shown vadai poshea. The first person for sure is going to be considered a poshea. The sheni, the second guy, agufo mechayev, he's going to be chayav on the damages which is done to the body to havalu because he should have gotten up. Velo amar, and he didn't get up. Amamono patur, on the money is going to be patur. The Elmaleh, because he could tell him, I didn't dig this pit, which means I'm considered an honest in the fact that the kedirot fell to the ground, and therefore I'm not chayav on the board. On a board, you're only going to be chayav when you actually come and you dig the pit. Here, you didn't do it. It was an honest. So therefore, you're going to be patur on the money. You're only going to be chayav on the body.
When you say the money, you mean the damage caused by the utensil.
Yes, exactly. Damage caused by the money. Okay? So they're going to ask the following question. Kulam chayavim on niske gufan. Everybody's going to be chayav on the nezek of their bodies. My level, we're not talking about even the first guy also, that he should also be patur from the nezek done by his money. So what's going on here? Why do we say that the first guy for sure is considered negligent and therefore he has to pay even if his money caused damage? No, even the first guy should be exempt. Answers the Gemara, no. Everybody except for the first guy. Lo lebar mirishon, except for the first guy. That means everybody's going to be exempt except for the first guy, that his money is going to be chayav. Veha kulam ktani. Go in a second, but it said everybody. When you said kulam even should refer to the first guy as well. That means the first guy as well, his money should not be obligated. So what's going on? So Amar Ravada Barava says over the Barava, kulan nezikin. He says no, kulam. We're talking about now to do with the nezikin, which means that the nezek. Right, which means that the nezek that's going to be caused by another human being, that's what's going to be obligated. But we're not talking about the nezek done by the money. Okay? So, hi, Mai, says the Gemara, how do you know that this is explanation? If you're going to tell me now, that even the first guy, that's what we said, kulan. But if you're going to tell you, except for the first guy, so my kulan, what does it mean kulan then? Litni anizikin, just teach nizikin. Right, and that's it. Right, why do we say kulan? Right, just say hanizakin, the damages, which is damage through the body. So Elamar Rava, but rather Rava says Hadishon is going to be chayav ben niske gufo the sheni, ben niske mamono the sheni. You're always going to be chayav. The first guy is always going to be chayav, whether it's on the nezek of the guf or nezek of the money. But the sheni is only going to be chayav in the shlishi to do with nezek of the gufo, but not nezek of the money. My time, what's the reason? To have a bor because it's considered like a bor, and we never found a bor that is going to be chayav on kelim. Remember, the bor has a special exemption on utensils, right? So because of that, so it's not going to be chayav. So says the Gemara, Hani Chal Shmuel. This is good according to Shmuel Damar that he says called takala boru, that any type of a takala, which means any type of a stumbling block, becomes a bor. So you could be whatever you want, and you become a stumbling block, you're a bor. But according to Rav, that he says, only if you made it hefker is it considered a bor. But if you didn't make hefker, it's not considered a bor. So what are you going to answer them? Here, why in the world is it considered a bor? You didn't make it hefker, according to Rav. So answers the Gemara, you're right. We have to retract the first answer. It's like what we said at the beginning. So when you're going to ask kulam chayavim, that everybody should be exempt, everybody should be obligated, we'll be talking about that. It was not that his money damaged the human being. It's that his money, which is like utensils, damaged utensils. And therefore, in such a case, even the first guy is going to be patur, right? Because the kedirot that fell in the Reshut Rabim are considered like bor, that is going to be patur on his kelim. Because the bor damaged other bors. Remember, it's kelim bekelim. It's utensils with utensils. So therefore, even the first guy is going to be patur because it's like a bor. Meaning he put a pit in the Reshut Rabim when he fell. When he fell, his utensils, which are kedirot, are like a pit in the Reshut Rabim. So if the other guy behind him, only his utensils got damaged by the first guy's pit, so he's also exempt. That's why we said kulam turim. Everybody is exempt. Even the first guy is going to be exempt. Okay? So Amar more says, Im mechamat harishon naflu, right? Because of the first guy, everybody fell. So therefore, the rishon is going to be chayav kulam. The rishon is going to be chayav on everybody. So says the Gemara, mechamat harishon echi nafal. How did he fall? So Rav Papa says the paska leorchei kishlada. We're talking about where he blocked the entire path, right? Which means basically he blocked the entire road. So there was nothing else what to do. And Rizvid said, "Kidchutra de samyuta," like a makel, like a stick of the iver. You know, the blind guy's stick. Mm-hmm. So like that. What does that mean? That sometimes when you put it to the, they start putting it all over the road in order to start feeling where the road is. So that's what we're talking about. Okay, and therefore in such a case, right, when they put it, so therefore the first guy came and he fell because of it. So either because he was blocking the entire road, or he had the stick and he put it out, and when he stretched it out, it came and it damaged so that's why it damaged everybody on the path. Okay, until here we're clear? Yeah. Fine, let's just do the Mishnah. The Mishnah is quick. The Mishnah says, on the bottom of the Mishnah, it says the Mishnah, one person comes with his chavit, another person comes with his korah. Nishbera kado, right? So the jug got broken because of the korah, because of the beam. It's going to be patur. Each one has the reshut of going, which means they both have the permission to go. I'm sorry, it's not my problem. But if they were one behind each other, that means it's not that each one was coming, right? And they're coming either beside each other or in front of each other. He says what happened was that they were coming one behind each other. So therefore, he says over here, if he stopped, balakura is going to be chayav. But if he told him stop, he warned him, he's going to be patur. What is the opposite? The first guy was the chavit, and the guy behind him was the korah. And then the korah broke the chavit, right? He says he's going to be chayav. But if the balachavit stopped, so now he's going to be patur. But if he told him stop, he's going to be chayav. If one of them, the same halacha would apply if this one's coming with a nail. That means basically there's rules, right? Obviously, if it's going to be one beside each other, or one opposite each other, it's not the same rules. Now, obviously, this is not the way that we paskin, not paskin. I mean, the secular courts obviously don't paskin like that. Saying if you're two cars and you're coming opposite each other, and then it hits or whatever it is, technically speaking, maybe you're both going to be patur because maybe it's both of your faults. Other than obviously if you went into the other guy's lane a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But saying then, but there's rules for it. So here, there's going to be a difference between going beside each other, opposite each other, or behind each other.
Watch where you're going. You have to watch where you're going.
100%. Very, very good.